What's up, fight fans? Welcome to the T10 Countdown Show. I'm your host, Brandon Kyle, where we will be breaking down everything T10 coming up. We're about a month away, so we thought we would inform all you fans out there as much as we could. I am joined in the studio by Triumphant CEO, you know the man, Geoff. Quares to my left, and to my right, the COO, Mr. Koo of Triumphant, Zae Martinez. And joining us, I love saying this, via satellite, we have co-commentator David Huey, and of course, my other co-commentator, Kevin Ross, will be joining us in the broadcast booth again for T10. What's up, guys?
What's going on, bro?
Good.
What's up, guys? We thankful you pulled away from your ladies for this little Valentine's Day special edition here at Triumphant TV. Let's start with what's new, Geoff. Some different things happening for T10 than T9 last time we were in Rosarito, a little bit of a different venue. Tell us a little bit about where the fight's going to take place.
Yeah, actually, it is not too far from the original spot. So one of the, where we had the after party, is where the actual event is.
The Bombay Club.
The Bombay Club. So, you know, as you walked in through the front, then there was that huge, like, what do you call that?
A little arena area in the front.
Yeah.
Little amphitheater,
An amphitheater, yeah. And so at first, I thought it was like slanted, right? There was an angle. So I was like, fuck, I don't know if it's going to work.
Little history there. You know, they used to have the mechanical bull there.
Yeah. I think so. I think one of the guys was telling me that.
It was a perfect size of a ring, too. So
Interesting.
It's already set up.
Yeah, so then, but when we went there, we just went there a couple weeks ago just to measure it out, and I didn't realize there was two levels. So one slanted, and they're right before getting to that little hill, it's like at least, 40 by 40. So the ring is, 22 or 24 by 24. Mm-hmm. So it looks like we're going to have some good
space.
Yeah, some
nice.
good space.
And then the club is it's inside, kind of inside
Yes,
the
sir.
club.
So
The
you don't have
club
to
is
go
kind of
anywhere.
sectioned off.
Yes, sir.
Then you go to the back, and there's like the beach and the ocean right there.
Yes, sir.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And same spot. We're at the Rosarito Hotel. That's where you're kind of having the guests. We have a rate there. They should be calling in, you said, though, or let them know about Triumphant. Is there a way to?
Yeah, so we were trying to work out an online code, which was easier for everyone because they're having troubles, or everyone that's coming from different time zones calling at different time zones. They're like strictly off the line by phone by 5 o'clock, and sometimes even a little earlier. So a lot of people are getting a little
Got it.
bothered. So make sure though, call before 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday, and then you should be able to get it. Same rates as last time. Again, it's supposed to be like spring break, so prices are usually high, but they are going to honor that because they said they had such a good experience with us last time. So
And they mentioned
Yeah.
mention Triumphant when they call.
Yeah, make sure you mention Triumphant. Good call. Yeah.
Definitely mention Triumphant when you call there, and then that's great. Any other news going on? Any other updates or anything as far as T10? I know we've let a lot out, but anything else?
Ooh, yeah. So, I saw your podcast on the last one, and you kind of mentioned a little something. In May, we're looking to add another show, and it won't be in Mexico, but it's somewhere going to be on. Going to be on the East Coast. The plan is Miami. So sometime we're still working on the final details, but I don't want to say anything until the ink is drying.
Yeah, got it. But that sounds exciting. East Coast Triumphant. I know Zae has a plethora of crushed linen suit coats that I'm sure he can't wait to.
I'm going to work on my chest here.
to bring
bare
out.
chest and blazer. That's right.
Yeah. While we're talking news, David, let me throw it to you. I know you're out there. You got your finger on the heartbeat of like the Southern California Muay Thai scene, and we have a lot of fighters that we used to bring up when we were up here. We used to bring them up to fight NorCal's best. Now we're bringing them down to fight Mexico's best. How's the buzz down there, Triumphant 10, in the SoCal area going?
Well, I think, first of all, everyone's so excited that fights are coming back. And, Rosarito, Mexico is only 2.5 hours away from Los Angeles. And there's a lot of fight fans in San Diego, too. They're just going to jump across. And the fact that they can actually go see a live fight, and they saw the last Triumphant event, T9. They thought the production value was excellent. The quality of fights were there. They just want to be a part of it. So a lot of guys are hitting me up. Hey, what's the hotel code again? What's the link to buy tickets? Do I need to get a VIP table, or should I just get seats and stuff like that? So the whole buzz here is just so exciting. And it's just Muay Thai hasn't really been around since the pandemic, except for Triumphant. Triumphant's doing it. They're putting on shows, and they're not just putting regular fights on. They're putting quality fights on.
Yeah.
Every fight, every matchup on this has a what-if question. What can he beat him or she beat that? It can this brawler beat this style? Can Slick beat hard? And it's all these things. So the buzz is just incredible. So if you guys are watching, if you guys are in LA, hey, it's 2.5 hours down just to get across, and you'll have a good time. Rosario is a great time, and the city is so inviting for people to come because they want that tourism back. Everybody feels like they're in jail, in fight jail, so you can go see a live fight. But if you can't, we have that pay-per-view, only $15. And man, you can't 10 title fights, 4 title fights, 10 pro fights.
10 pro fights, yeah.
That for $15. I mean, what is that? $1.50 a fight? $1.50 a fight? What? That's incredible.
All pros too. All pros.
That's right.
How are gyms doing down there? Kevin, how are gyms doing in SoCal right now? Are they starting to are they starting to freely open back up, and are gyms able to make a living yet down there?
Shit, that's something you gotta ask David about, man. It's been just so crazy this whole time, and it's been, especially for the fighters, trying to stay consistent and have training partners and training facilities. It's been really tough. I'm fortunate that I got my own little home gym here, so I've been able to maintain. But yeah, as far as working with other people, it's been difficult. But I've been over to David's gym, which is awesome.
I saw that. Very cool.
Yeah, so I think it's different for everybody, just depending on who you talk to.
Yeah, I know Northern California, Southern California, it's just the zones are a little bit different, and the rules are constantly changing, and it's tough. And so we're definitely got all these gym owners in our thoughts, and stay strong, guys. We're going to get through it. We're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel here. Yeah. But speaking of the 10 pro fights we have for the special edition Triumphant, all 10 pro fights, let's break down the card, guys. Let's since we got everybody here, we're gonna start at the bottom. Then the order might change. Things change a little bit, but we have all the pro fights listed right here. Chris Paez and Danny Pinto. We'll start with them, Geoff. We've had both of these guys. Paez as an amateur, I think on T7 he beat Russell.
Vegas.
Yeah, that was a great fight. Danny Pinto beat, I believe, Andrew Capurro in his pro debut, I think. So we got these guys coming. How'd you get these guys together, and what gave you this idea for this matchup?
Well, before I jump into that real quick, just giving you guys what you guys see posted online isn't the exact order. It is going to be the beginning is going to be a little switch. So don't think that you're either red or blue or whatever, or first to go.
Yeah, fighters, don't start. Don't start telling your fans what side to sit on yet. Things might change, but this is the basic card, in a nutshell, though. But yeah, Paez and Pinto, what got that going?
Well, I've always wanted to get Danny back in. I know there was so Danny is a very how do you say? He's a very interesting fighter. He's very intense, very passionate. I even behind the scenes after the last show, there was I guess talk about, some people think that we're saying that I didn't like him, right, or something like. Someone said something like that. It got brought to my attention.
I mean, he did miss weight. I mean, maybe there's like a little. Sometimes there's a little. Remember, I think he missed weight a little bit, and so maybe there's like a little like, oh.
Yeah, maybe I came across wrong.
I don't. I mean, it happens though. You know.
So, but the thing is, he's always been a good guy. Oh, and by the way, congratulations on your baby girl, Danny, and Suzanne. They just had a baby girl.
Oh, congrats!
Yeah, not too long ago. And then as far as Chris, they also fought like the show afterward. Chris Paez, that's Diego Paez's brother, and he had a good showing again. So I didn't realize they were in the same weight class, right? And so it was just I like to work with people. I would say. Put matches together. I didn't plan it out, but when something pops in my head that I'm like, who would be? I would like to get that guy back on the show, but who can I match him up with? I'd prefer to build a relationship with people that I've had on before. Yeah. Until it just doesn't work.
If they produced and they were good to work with.
Because as you can see, as we build folks, people jump on the show. Look, they step on to what? Glory, One. You know what I mean? I mean, people that are fighting on.
Danny, for me, it's like it's nice to see a good, skilled fighter that also has a huge following. So he has both, Sometimes you get a big following and they're not as skilled, but they bring the crowd. But this guy's he's pretty half and half.
Yeah, he's super intense. Well.
He does promote well.
Oh, bro,
he had a huge crowd in Vegas.
Love his style. I love his intensity. You could tell he loves it. And
he's into into it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a passion for him.
Yeah,
It's a passion for him. And David, you've coined Chris's brother as the Matrix of Muay Thai, and you've probably seen these guys fight a lot, right? As far as Diego, you've seen Chris fight a lot, I'm sure too, being Southern California fighters. How do their styles how is Chris different from Diego? Does he have a similar style to his brother, or has he kind of got something else going on for him?
Well, the thing is that Chris is a little heavier than Diego.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. They do have similar styles, but I really like Chris. Chris is just very, really methodical, very clean. He can think on his feet too, which is really, really nice. I think this is a great matchup because when you get fighters like this early in the game, starting out their pro career, pretty much, they want to make a statement. They don't want to be on the B side. They want to stay on the A side. When you have two fighters wanting to be on the A side, they're bringing it. And what a way. If this opens the show, that's going to be a great way because it just gets people going. Yeah. So I just think this is a great matchup.
Yeah, and that was, you pointed out exactly what I saw in this. I saw Danny as a forward, aggressive fighter, and Chris being, yes, he's very technical and he's patient. And then when it's time to throw down, he gets at it. And that's what I see as is what makes this an interesting matchup. One
thing I remember about Danny, when he threw with bad intentions when he did decide to throw. He's one of those guys where you could tell, if that lands, that's not good at all. Let's move on to another fight on the card where Ethan Cachon, he's a favorite of ours. He's been fighting for us since the first shows. Taking on Axel Brandy Romo, a newcomer to the show. So it's like a super vet taking on a newcomer. How did this fight come about? What do you guys think about this fight?
Oh man, Ethan's always been itching. I mean, he does a good job. He's very professional. He brings it every single time. He's entertained every time, and he does his job. And he has a good camp too. So, I mean, Geoff knew what he was doing when he put this one together.
Well, and at the same time, so you know how certain fights, certain weight classes are hard to get a pool of guys coming in. In Mexico, there is like no shortage of 120s to 130s in there.
The lighter
the 125
fighters.
Class is huge.
It is
Mexico.
huge. So they're like these guys. I'm gonna start keeping these guys. Like you were saying, Ethan. He's super consistent. He's very passionate too. Again, I'm drawn to that. I'm drawn to people with passion and intensity, and so that's and he nonstop. He's on the show or not. He's always hit me up. Good show, Geoff. So and so. I would love to be on anything. Love to represent you doing. He just wants to be a part of it, regardless whether he's on it or not.
I got something funny about Ethan. You know how you got your Mentos, and every fight you get your Mentos. Everybody has their thing, right? Ethan, I remember we're at CSA, and Ethan at his weigh-ins, when he's done weighing in, he always eats veggie chips. And one of those days I was so hungry, and I really didn't know Ethan like that. I was like, hey, Ethan, can I get some of those veggie chips? So every time I see him, he brings veggie chips. Like, Ethan, that's his thing. Everybody has
that's his little... That's his...
Mentos, that's his thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ever since I was a teenager, I've always had 2 packs of Mentos in my pocket and Pepsi.
Hey, and Geoff, tell us a little bit about Axel. We haven't seen him on the show before. How did you line up him with Ethan?
Actually, I was working with a matchmaker down there as well. I said, hey, I just wanted to say which camps are cool to have studs on there. And then he was like, man, anywhere in Mexico City, you know what I mean? Just basically in that area. So I wanted to basically he was actually a referral. I wanted to see tape or video of him before I saw his style match up with Ethan's, just to see if they're two technical people. I don't want that. I'd rather see at least opposing styles is what and he's a forward aggressive fighter. So I thought Ethan, like when he fought Darren, Darren was just going, but then Ethan's technical turn to, all right, I'm gonna be aggressive too. I'm a tit for tat. You know what I mean? So I thought this would be an interesting matchup, just based on how aggressive Axel is versus Ethan's switchable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, adaptable style, but definitely super technical. And another fight I'm super excited about is when Connor Bracken is taking on a returning Stephen Bobenchuk. Stephen Bobenchuk, I think it might be my favorite fight of Triumphant. Yeah, when he took on John Hurney.
Oh, yeah, everybody knows.
You called that fight with us, Kevin, right? You were there for that John Hurney, Bobenchuk fight.
Oh, that was fireworks.
That was crazy. I think it was a double title 5-round fight, and they went ham. And now Bobenchuk has lost a lot of weight. I think he took that on short notice. Connor Bracken used to be a bigger fighter. He's lost a lot of weight. Yeah. They're both looking like, real trim here, getting ready for this fight. I think we expect fireworks on that one, right?
I think he did fight, about 200 or 180, 190 or 195 on the Vegas show. the Conor that is, and those leg kicks, bro. Those were killer. So even when I talked to Bob and Chuck, because Bob and Chuck actually wants to fight at a lower weight, you know, and I was like, hey, you're still looking to go AMI, or are you looking to go pro? He goes, I'd love to go pro, but if I just want to get in there. That's all he said. I just want to get in. I don't care who it is, pro or AMI. It's up to you. And Conor has been hitting me up. Not only him, but Noom has been hitting me up like crazy. Like, hey, when are we gonna get Conor back on? You know what I mean? And I saw the opportunity. I was trying to find someone with that weight, in that weight class at a super high one, but it was kind of impossible. There's not too many big guys down in that what do you call it? In that area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of 125ers, not as many 185ers down there.
No, there's slim pickings down there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You would think it's the opposite, huh?
Yeah, definitely. So that's going to be a banger, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then moving on, someone who we just had on the last show, Brandon Kurosawa, taking on Luis Morales. Yeah. So he's making his pro debut. I'm excited to see. He had such a great performance last time. Yeah. Excited to see that fight. Kevin, you train with Brandon a little bit, right?
Sure do. Yeah, down in San Diego, I go down there quite often. So we've worked together off and on over the last 2-3 years.
Yeah, and what do you think about his development as a fighter over the last 2 years heading into this professional debut of his?
Oh, man, you couldn't be any better. You know, he's steadily progressing. He has the right mindset for it, the right work ethic, which tends to be the thing that really separates levels of people is their willingness to put the work in, regardless of wins and losses, and he has the mind for it. So I'm very grateful to see him going pro, especially on your guys' show, and I see big things from this kid.
Yeah, definitely excited about it. And
it's
then,
good timing for him.
Mm-hmm.
Good timing for him. He could have went pro sooner, I feel, but it was good timing for him.
That last performance was excellent against a quality opponent. You know.
Yeah, and Luis is one of Ace's.
Tell us about his opponent.
Yeah, so Luis is one of Ace's guys. Florida FKA.
FKA guys.
Yeah.
So Academy.
Actually, I had promised to get him on. I had been talking to him for a while, like even a year or two ago, and then it just wasn't the right timing. You know what I mean? I didn't get this. So one thing before I will explain the reason why I got him on after all this time is, you guys, like everybody in the world hits me up on whether it be social media, email, they'll get my number from somebody and they'll call, or they'll FaceTime call me, or not FaceTime, Facebook call me and this and that. That's not going to get you really anywhere. I mean, go ahead and send me an email, send a little bit of your footage, your titles, your who you train with, and a little bit about that, or maybe make a post and tag Triumph. Don't tag me, tag Triumphant. You know what I mean? Combat Sports, and then and we can check. We can jump in there and see if you're like kind of. It's not necessarily that we're gonna match for you, or we'll see if your style matches with somebody else. That's how I do it. You know, I'll look within my circle of people or my relationships of people, and I know if I know let's say the coach or the camp's style in my head. You know what I mean? I know how they work their guys, and I know, even though I have never seen a particular fighter, I know what their game plan is. The base, the broad part of sense of their game, and I'll be able to match it up. You know, if it all makes sense, and that's pretty much it. So that was what happened with Luis. You know, we had spoken like a couple years back, and it just happened. I was trying to find the right level of an opponent for Brandon. Like Kevin was saying, you know, he's like on another level. Yeah, of you wouldn't even think this is his pro debut. You know,
as Zae said, he could have gone a while ago.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
And Luis has fought on the IFMA team.
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, so his level is definitely
tons of
there.
experience,
just underrated.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So he's a tough guy, and he's very intense as well. I think I saw him fight at was it the TBAs? Did he do the TBAs?
That was in the Midwest, right?
Is he the TBAs or one of the?
Yeah, he got a title there as well.
Yeah. So
because Asa was with him when Asa was coaching him there.
Yeah. So that was it, and I liked his style. I liked how like even after when someone wins, you know what I mean. I love the intensity in their face. You could see like this was kick or fuck yeah. You know what I mean. It's like so intense.
It was hard work. I mean, when it's hard work and you win, it feels
exactly.
Feels
so
good.
When you're putting in that work like that and it pays off, you can see the satisfaction in their
when
face.
you see the passion, intensity, the love for
Yeah.
the sport, that always makes us swell with pride a little bit too, to be able to offer that opportunity for them to display those skills. And then moving on, another returner, two returners here. This is going to be a banger here, because this is a little bit of a style clash too, when Ben Torres returns after a stellar performance on the last one, taking on Brandel Mendoza, who is always super game. Dave, you know a lot about Brandel. You've worked with him a long time. What are you thinking about this fight coming up?
Oh, it's funny because before this fight got matched, Brandel called me up and he goes, "Hey, you know what? I'm bored, coach. I want to fight." And I go, "Okay."
bored.
And then so I hit up Geoff. And Geoff goes, "Okay," and then like within 2 days I got back to him. He was like, "What?" And I go, "Yeah, we got you a fight, man."
You know what's crazy, David? This is how hungry he was. He hit me the day after he asked you. He hit me on
too.
Facebook
And Zae, too.
and was like, "Hey,"
Yeah.
and I was like, I think one of your coaches might be in with Triumphant. Yeah. I'm all, dude, you're going to me. I'm all, do we cut David? Does he not have any pull anymore? No.
He wasn't taking no for an answer.
Yeah, he was asking everybody that is associated. I love that.
Everyone but me.
Speak about passion.
Because I say no, like stop. You know what I mean? Like, and then these
The
guys.
reason it's so easy for Brandel to make that call, though, because not every fighter can do that. They can't just say, "Hey, I'm bored, I want to fight." But you shown improved who you are as a fighter on our platforms before, and you have a reputation for bringing it, and we know your style. So that's why it's easy for him to make that call and get put on a show like that.
Yeah, and what's up?
Just to follow up what the question that you threw earlier about the gyms, every fighter on this show wants to fight. They just want to fight. And you talk about gyms shutting down or, it's hard to train. Every one of these fighters are finding a way to make it happen. Yeah. Training in the garage, they're training in the park, they're training, secretly, they're training the secret kumite, whatever it is. They're finding a way to make it happen. T10, you will see everybody that is fighting, that wants to fight. And that's such an important thing to know, that because they want to be there. There is none of this, okay, I'll just take the fight or whatever. They want to be there, and that's going to be T10. Everybody is very hungry. They're there to put on a great show.
And and just piggyback off that. So also Brandel fought Ben's last opponent, which was
they share the common opponent.
Raftery.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Well, everybody thought that Raftery and Ben were going to do a rematch because it was a controversial.
Let me jump on that.
And they were planned on that, right?
Yeah. So
I knew Geoff was going to bring this
some
up.
Things moved around and whatnot.
Yeah. So that was supposed to be. So just to give you a heads up, and in case anyone was really upset about it, they were upset as well, right? What happened was after a lot of back and forth, they looked even interviewed the refs, the judges. You know what I mean? And
so before, just so everybody understands, we're referencing the fight with Brendan Raftery, and Ben Torres. Ben Torres on the last.
Yeah. So to us, to everybody, including themselves, and his own team said, I don't think we deserve that win. You know what I mean? So what ended up happening is one of the judges had admitted that he possibly had wrote something down wrong, which kind of and so they agreed. They went to like a council and they said, okay, here's the way we're going to solve this. We're going to make it a draw, and you guys will do an immediate rematch. You know what I mean? And so it won't show up on anybody's record. And both sides agreed. But what ended up happening is because of the pandemic,
just like David was saying, it's hard to train.
It's hard. Like I'll tell you what, his side, Steel MMA. I mean, I feel so bad. They like target him or something. They're showing up at their gym like multiple times a week to see if they're training indoors and all that, getting fined and all that. So
he's in a hot spot too. He's in a cul-de-sac with a lot of traffic, and his windows are glass, and he's just.
And so I understood
Carl's
reasoning to not be able to do it, because you're under that kind of pressure. You can't train for a pro fight that you know what I mean, at that level, knowing that you can't train, you don't have the proper tools and environment to be able to get ready for something like that, especially for to make a bigger statement from that mistake.
Yeah, so hopefully we can get Brandon back on soon. And then
he hit me up too. He's like, I'm ready.
He's ready. He's like 11, 10 and a half. I'll get on. Parking lot. Yeah, wherever.
Okay. I feel a triumphant tournament coming up in that weight category.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a good call. I think.
I knew that coming on.
I'm actually working on something that's kind of cool. You know?
Jeff's always working. Jeff's always working on something.
Yeah, it's something like that, but it's got more of an entertainment side to it as well. But it's real. It's the real fight.
That's a hot weight class, though. There's a lot of good talent in that weight class.
Yeah.
Especially now south of the border, too. As you're saying, those lighter weights, there's a lot more abundance there, so a lot more competition, so they're a lot sharper. So hopefully that works out. Speaking of working out, we got a guy who always stays in shape, as we found out on the last card when Zach Bonnell takes on Phil Ingroff. This is a fight I know everybody's excited about. Kevin, Zach's an old training partner of yours. He's a different kind of breed of human being, he just kind of, I feel like he was meant to be born into like a samurai or Viking era. He would just be ruling lands. Tell me a little bit about training with Zach back in the day.
Yeah, man, I've known Zach for a really long time. He actually came out to Sitmonchai, I don't know when that was, maybe 8 years ago when I was there, and that's kind of when we first started training together a little bit. We'd known each other previously, but we've been working on and off with each other over the years, and he's always just a game fighter. He's always ready to go, whether it's a day's notice or a year's notice. He's always training. Even when he's not training, he's ready to fight. He's ready to scrap, and that's the kind of fighters I love to watch because they're always entertaining.
He doesn't need much either. That guy will train anywhere or work out anywhere. I mean, he doesn't need much.
Yeah. If we called Zach right now and said we had a fight for him in 4 hours, he would be in his car on his way from Reno right now. That's the kind of guy he is. And then tell us about Phil. How did you get that lined up?
Yeah, so this is perfect. So this goes right into what I was saying a little earlier. He's actually one of the guys that hit me up not too long ago. Did it the right way. He first he was tagging me and stuff, and then he was messaging me, and then it's something about his post that I saw that made me want to look into him a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Oh, so he caught your eye then. He caught your eye the right way.
He caught my eye, and then when we, I guess it's also when I reach out, your response is probably what's key. We end up talking to a lot of people that feel entitled to certain things, or they'll think that you won't. I'm gonna give the show of I mean, everyone's gonna be considered. I'm the highlight of the. That's basically what they try to come at me with.
I feel like you're talking to the fighters out there that want to be on Triumphant, and you're kind of telling them how. You're telling them how and what you want to see. I've been hit up before, and it's hard for me to tell Geoff when someone just asks me. I'm like, hey, do you know this guy? He goes, no. Can you show me his last fight? Who are his last opponents? What promotion has he fought for? But they don't tell you anything. They just say, I want to fight. You kind of got to have a resume for me to tell or talk to Geoff, or tag him, like you were saying for Phil. Like, you got to give some.
And that's what I do, guys. I mean, in my downtime, I'm trying to jump on social media, and I'm looking at the hashtags, and I'm looking at what people are. They're showing their pad work, their bag work, their sparring, or a highlight video of one of their fights. I'm looking at those. You know what I mean? And then if there's a name attached to it, you know what? And then I end up trying to hit them up, and next thing you know, I realize that they're one of the people that hit me up. You know what I mean? And because they jump in a different folder.
It makes full circle back to when they first tried to hit you up.
And then just the demeanor he had. I love his eye. So just from looking at him and looking at his stuff, I thought he looked like he was kind of a hard nose, like a hard ass, like a punk even. You know what I mean? But when I spoke to him on the phone, I said, hey, man, you got time to talk? Oh, yeah. He gave me his number right away. So
part of you kind of said, oh, this guy might have a little attitude because he kind of comes off brash in his post, but he wasn't like that.
Well, I thought it, but I saw
but
that
he's definitely got an edge to him.
Yeah, he definitely does.
I mean, look at his face.
Zach's got an edge to him. And Zach is...
Look at his face.
That was one of them,
This is going to be definitely two sharp swords clashing here in this fight.
Yeah, he's fighting on Muay Thai. He's fighting Thailand. This guy's got a ton of experience.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why this one, I think you got potential fight of the night opportunity here.
Yeah, and the way I was looking at this, remember, I think on the last show, as we're trying to fill that fight for Ruelas, right? Well, at the kind of last minute, we went through a lot of people, you know what I mean? And we wanted to get that level to where any of these people are good enough for a title shot. You know what I mean? And so when we tried to make contact with these guys, I don't just because we got somebody else doesn't mean I forgot about you. You know what I mean? And so that's basically what it is. I definitely want to get him on one show eventually. And, you know, even though he wasn't one of the original people we called, it was just through that search, you know, that I thought it would be a good match against Zach. You know, and then, like, again, this one, just from the last one, you see the aggression on both sides. You know, that was going to be, like you said, potential fight.
Well, yeah, and it's nice, and we wanted to give Zach an opportunity, too, to have a full camp.
Yeah.
You know, we were so appreciative that he took the fight on the week notice, and then the performance he had and the condition he was in. It was just all impressive all around. Stock went up, even though it was a tough loss there. Yeah. And maybe, you know, he gets a W here, and if Jose wins again, you know, the potential rematch in the air there as well.
Those are the fights that are going to put people in the eye of that WMC title too. You know,
that's correct.
That's those type of fights that we're matching up here is what people are going to look at when that title comes back up.
And you know what was funny? There's been a lot of talks. I've been on me trying to grow I should say, not necessarily the sport because everyone's trying to do it, but the brand of Triumphant. Some people have been asking me, you know, how come WMC, you know what I mean? And why not anybody else? And, you know, so even WMC is my original, relationship. But eventually, just like boxing, you know, IBF, WBC, you know what I mean, all this. So eventually, that's kind of what I want to do. That's like merging. The same thing I did with the BAM, you know what I mean, and JJ. You know what I mean? Is, you know, there's kind of
unified.
Yeah, we're trying to unify the sport, unify, you know, the sanctioning bodies, you know, and we need something to where we're all working together instead of against each other, because we're not big enough yet to say, this is better, you know, we're only going to do this, you know what I mean? Well, why don't we put it to the test?
When they did that in boxing, it made the sport huge again.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we want this to grow, we have to do things similar to what people are doing to make their sport.
Yeah, so how cool would it be to unify our promotional WBC, WMC, and whatever.
And people could put it all on the line if they wanted to for a title fight.
And even if another promotion was up to, wanted to collabo on something, you know, I'm okay with that too. You know what I mean?
Unified champion, Teofimo Lopez, Lomachenko fight. You know, how often do you see a unified champion? It would be It'd be super good for the sport. I think let's not limit opportunities here to play favorites or whatnot. Equal opportunity as far as promotion is concerned, and different organizations are concerned.
I know that's probably like a long shot and everything, but the thing is, if you can think about it, you know what I mean? I'm one of those visualizers. You know, if you
shoot for the moon, even if you miss.
So I think we just spoke it into existence just now.
You never know.
That's the plan, man. Fuck, we're going to make it happen.
Moving on the card, before we get into the title fights, we have one last professional fight. Ahmad Ibrahim taking on Edgar Juarez. You know, I haven't seen these guys, Geoff, but you obviously know what's up with this.
And, so I posted that one this morning, right? So both of these guys, look at their experience. You know, both of them representing their country on the IFMA, in the IFMA games. You know, so there's what did I say, about 50, 60 something fights, or was it 90? I don't know, but 50, 60 pro fights among them two, and over 150 or something fights all around. So, I mean, there's a bunch of experience here, I mean, at the highest levels. So, again, this is also, although I'm not too fond of making matches by record, because some people have different opportunities than others, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean, they got, just because they got like 30, 40 fights more than someone else who has, like 20 fights, doesn't necessarily make them better, right? So I look at their styles. Both of these guys are very, very technical and aggressive fighters, and that's what I want to see. These guys, they're super experienced. I just want to, again, highlight the top of the top, so we can actually find, I want to basically try to find the top of that division, you know what I mean? So that's so close to that previous fight, Ethan and Axel. That's you know what I mean? So somewhere along the lines, there's going to be an opportunity to fight.
Starting to thin the herd in that division.
Exactly.
As far as
Sorry, yeah. Sorry, I'm at a loss for words,
the
man.
top of the
But
top.
yeah.
No. When that's why I'm excited to finally see them live
Yeah.
in the Triumphant ring because they've been around for so long.
Oh, because you know what? I mean, so this was also when I was putting all this in my head, right? I was actually talking to Ethan, and Ethan was supposed to fight one of these guys, you know what I mean? Or either he is or something's supposed to happen. And then I said, man, you guys are going to see each other at the show. And then he goes, what? Yeah. And then I go, is it really going to happen? He's like, yeah. He goes, we had an agreement. And then I said, I said, maybe we can get a little bit
the
of...
coaches and teams will be there. You can settle that right then and there.
No, but they go, no, I'm not like that. I said, you know what? Let me talk to Brendan and Zae. Maybe they can start some shit between you guys.
Yeah,
some professional style.
We're little disturbers. No, I mean,
but I think it's a cool coincidence. They're gonna fight.
There'll be some tension brewing in the air. It'll be kind of cool though because it'll set up for maybe potential. Future matches down the line.
And basically what that told me is
we're kind of having a little tournament in that weight division here on this card. If you kind of
I want to bring something. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
I want to bring
no.
something about the geographics of what's going on in Mexico. So we're just crossing the border, and it's a short area, and some of the fighters are from there. But what Geoff's doing by bringing the heart of Mexico, like Mexico City, it's not just our local area. It's not just Bay Area fighters anymore. It's not just L.A. We're going across the nation, and now when we go into Mexico, we're going right into the heart of the country. So, it's good to see people from different parts of Mexico and not just one area. And like I said, Edgar's from Mexico City. It's the heart. Yeah,
definitely the best of the country coming out. And speaking of the best of the country, moving on to our first title fight. It'll be our first female title fight in a long time we've had. It's been I think. What was the last title?
I was about to ask you, what was the last title?
Oh, it was what's her name?
Jenna?
PFL Jenna.
Jenna. So
Fabian,
that was 2 or 3, I think. So it's been a while since we've had a female title fight.
Yeah.
That was a big
Magali
deal,
Alvarez, you're somewhat familiar, I think, with Mags there, David. She's taken on someone we saw on the last show, had a great performance in Cynthia Flores. What are your takes on that fight?
Well, it's on this particular fight, I know Magali since she was 17. We trained her since she was 17. And she's just a really, really tough, hard-hitting fighter. In this camp, unfortunately, she's training at LA Muay Thai. Well, I mean, fortunately, she's training at LA Muay Thai.
Unfortunately, you can't train her for this one, is what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, at my gym, I've got, just in the situation right now, I've got 2 fighters fighting MMA, 1 fighter transitioning to boxing.
I see you've been working a lot.
Doing Muay Thai, so yeah. So I can handle about 4 pro fighters at one time. And so she's working with David Tuerta and George Zarate at LA Muay Thai, which they helped out on the last camp. So it's just perfect right now. And I get to be able to call the fight. That's a good thing. So I don't have to sit in the corner.
Yep.
That fight, Magali is just hard hitting. She's like a bull. Everything she hits with power. And Cynthia Flores has that speed. She has a high switch kick, and then she goes into a flurry. I just see an exciting fight about that. And you know what the good thing about this particular Triumphant 10 is that, on the last few shows, people always message me, how can I watch the fight? Where can I see it? What's the YouTube link? What's the Facebook link? But this time it's on fight.tv, Fight TV. This is the same organization that had the Roy Jones and Tyson, event. I mean, everybody knows this. And this time I can just say Fight TV and they go, oh, okay, that's it. No more questions asked. Yeah. It's so simple and so easy. And it's such a huge platform that Triumphant is on. There's going to be it's going to be no excuse how to find this fight. Right. And if you're a fan of Muay Thai and if you want to support the sport, go to Fight TV. If you can't come and watch the fight, you're going to see this fight, a great female fight amongst a bunch of other ones. But yeah, I'm excited for this one.
Me too. I had a buddy from Idaho. Oh, how can I watch the fight? It's on Fight TV. I got that on my Roku.
Yeah.
So it's like boom, there it is. Yeah, no excuses. We are enhancing the ability to access these fights for everybody and quality platforms and whatnot, like Fight.tv. Super excited about that. So that fight, Geoff, guys, I know we're excited about that fight for another, this whole card's potential fight of the night.
Well, I mean, I think that one
opportunities.
That matched itself. It matched it exactly.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Like when that fight or after the last card,
T9, yeah.
The word was already out. Oh, Magalhaes should have fought Cynthia, and it got out quick. And when they seen each other after that, after the show was already, they knew that they had to fight each other. So it was building up on its own. Like it was going to happen. It was going to happen for sure.
Yeah, I enjoy the continuity of bringing back fighters that fight on the shows, like two fighters that fight different opponents.
Yeah.
Like you said, we have two same weight classes, two great fights that they're going to be watching. It's like the football team that's seeing if they can get the playoffs or not. After the game's over, they watch the other team, play to see what they're like in case they got to face them in the next round. So definitely a lot of that happen on. And speaking of the next round, we have Jose Ruelas coming back. He just got his title on T9. He's defending his title against more than game Cody Jerome. This is a big fight. This is a big,
super big fight.
Geoff.
Right away, right after the show. I mean, not right after the show. He was watching the show because he's one of the people that we were trying to call to replace his previous opponent that fell off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then so. Yeah, I mean, he took it upon himself to call him out because I didn't give him any shine, you know what I mean, until after he did that, until he sent that made that little video post.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then from there I was curious, he picked, like it kind of matched itself like Zae was saying, that's one of those things, and I just wanted to dig into, a little bit more about Cody because I saw a couple clips that he fought two people that he fought that already fought for Triumphant, and he beat them both, right? I think one of them was Lance, right? And then one was the guy that Lance beat, also from Canada, one of Kieran Kennel's guys.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Kyle. Is that Kyle
Messenger?
Messenger. Yeah.
Yep.
So, and he beat him.
Interesting.
So and he's undefeated. So I thought that was definitely
worthy opponent for WMC.
Since he called him out, fight. And I'm hearing so much about this guy, how low key, humble, and quiet this guy is. It's like, whoa, this guy's got.
He must want it bad if he's making these kind of statements.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's one of those guys that you don't count out in that class going for the WMC title. You don't count him out.
Right.
He's in there.
Yeah.
He's a factor in what's going on.
And he knows how to promote, man. You see him. He's already gotten on the news like multiple times, interviews and all. He's pumping it out there.
Interesting. Beautiful.
This guy's he knows what he's doing.
That's what he needs. And same thing with Jose. He posts all the time.
Yeah.
He's constantly promoting the fight coming up and training posts. And again, that's how you get traction, not only with the promotion, but with your fan base. And grow both at the same time, your opportunities.
Yeah, and Jose, like I said, he's very soft-spoken, very humble, very quiet, but man,
he's a scary dude. As you saw.
You see how big he is?
Yeah.
His performance with Zach was just crazy. It was great style.
Yeah. And the determination, even when Zach would start to turn up the pressure, he never lost focus, never seemed too overwhelmed, even though he was taking some shots. Yeah. It was an impressive fight last fight.
Yeah, and he has that attitude, like how I don't know if you saw that interview between Eddie and Richard, how both of them have like a mutual respect for each other as far as being family men too, right? Same thing that's what I like about Ruelas is he's such a homebody. He loves he does everything for his family, and it's his job to make sure I do well. I keep doing what I need to do so I can take care of you.
That's amazing.
To bring it up, you said for his family. I mean, that's the same culture in Thailand. People have to fight. That's the culture, and that's where he's at. He still has that where he's fighting to provide for his family, and that's huge.
Yeah, so he's not demanding like fame and all this and that. Yeah. This guy is hungry because he wants to represent.
That's his job.
Yeah,
he's a professional. That's his job.
Yeah,
you gotta love that.
Professional. You're now, as you know, perfect segue. You're talking about Eddie.
Yeah.
Talking about Richard. That is gonna be our main event for T10, guys.
Yeah.
When Eddie Abasolo takes on Richard Ibrahim for the 160-pound triumphant title. Again. Another training partner that, Kevin, you have a lot of experience with Eddie, and I don't know if you got a chance to see their interview with Richard, but there was a lot of, you could tell mutual respect between the two. They're just both very humble warriors about their family. Tell me about, training with Eddie back in the day, and when did you kind of realize that this guy is, different or special, When did you kind of have that, this guy's a little different moment?
Yeah. Oh, well, that was from the moment we met. I knew he's a little different.
Phil, a very philosophical guy, yeah.
Yeah. But with training with him, just stylistically, he has a very different approach to everything that he does, which I love to see. People take the art and put their own spin on it and make it something that nobody else does. And he's one of those people that's constantly evolving, constantly trying new things, seeing what works, what doesn't. In a lot of years he was doing really well in the amateur ranks, and then we made the jump to going pro. But like a lot of people, just because it looks like they're going the right way doesn't necessarily mean anything, and vice versa. You might not look like you're going to be anything, and then you do. It's just a matter of what you do when you're faced with those hurdles, those setbacks, and even more so when you win, if you're able to use that to progress even further. So I've been very grateful to have him as a training partner over the years to help him out, just like he helps me out. And he was actually down here last week or the week before, so I was helping him get ready some more, and he just looks great, man, better than ever, motivated like he always is, and I know he's looking to put on a really great show for everybody.
Yeah, I know. He is focused, and it's been a while for him and Richard since they've been able to step in the ring. Obviously, all these issues with the pandemic and whatnot. So it's good to see both these guys who have been in the game so long be able to fight, and not only fight again, but fight each other. David, tell us a little bit about Richard Abraham. He's a Glory standout. He's been in the game a long time, fought in Thailand before. What do you know about Richard and his abilities?
Well, Richard, I just really think he's just a solid fighter, and he has that great international experience too. And a lot of people coin him like, okay, he's fought Glory, he's a kickboxer. This guy's so well-rounded. He's fought in Thailand. He's going to bring it, and he's going to bring a very, very interesting rocks type of style against the silky smooth. And that's what makes this fight so interesting, so compelling. It draws so many questions. What if he does this? What if he does that? Can he evade this? Can he do this? And you have to do it for 5 rounds. This is going to be a great thing. This is worth the pay-per-view itself, this main event. But you get this, and you get 9 other fights. Man, this is such an exciting card.
Yeah, definitely. Zay, how do you feel about this main event? I know you're excited about this as well.
I definitely am. It was nice watching that interview with Quarles too. One of my highlights, it was just Eddie's outlook when he asked him, he was like, what's different about this camp because of who you're fighting? He just looked at the camera, he was like, same shit, just a different toilet. And I was like, you know what? Yeah. Like that attitude is cool. I mean, you don't want to downplay anything, but at the same time, when you've been around, you fought a lot of different people, it's just like, that's how you feel about it. It's your job, like you said earlier.
Yeah, Geoff, I mean, this one was, I know you're excited. You couldn't wait to announce this one, and it blew up as soon as you did.
Yeah, I don't know if people were actually trying to put the 2 different posts I was out there together, But yeah, actually, to be honest with you, I've been trying to get Eddie on my show since Bay Area Challenge, bro. Right. And, just the thing about, Eddie is that he's always been tied up. He's always been tied up with other promotions. Like even when he was fighting for Lion Fight, it was just hard. It was just hard. Even when it was like, does he renewing his contract? Is he doing this? Oh, give us a shot, man. I'll speak to his coach, and it just never happened. And I don't know if you heard recently, Eddie has his own gym now.
Yeah, the Resistance.
The Resistance,
right?
yeah. So him and Herney and I think it's Yuen Oyama.
Okay.
Darren, that is, sorry. They band together and open their gym. So he's I guess he makes a decision, a team effort, a team decision to take to decide what he's going to do next. And yeah, it was just something that was bound to happen as it happened here. As far as with Richard,
yeah, that was a surprise to me too.
Yeah,
I wasn't ready for that. That was like, whoa.
Yeah. So here's how that so I ever since dealing with I deal with the Glory inside quite a bit with some of the guys like the attorneys and stuff like that, and because if they're gonna release any of their guys, it has to be. They have to get permission, to fight on another show. And I wasn't even asking about him. Richard actually hit me up. You know what I mean? He's one of those people. You know what I mean? And the thing is,
he watches all of our fights.
Yeah, but I watch his too.
Yeah,
I'm a fan too.
He fought my buddy Charles and beat Charles.
That's
and I was
right.
like, this guy's a bad man.
Right.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know what? He's my height. I mean, he's like he's not. He's Eddie's pretty tall. I mean, Eddie's a big boy. And I didn't think that weight would that weight was going to match up, right? And then, but when he hit me up, I guess what I was doing was, I had already made the decision and spoke with Eddie about, hey man, I'm gonna match for you for this show, make you the main event, so with a worthy opponent. I said, and he said, yeah, let's do it. He didn't even know who I was gonna match him up with, and then it's just,
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then and I didn't even know until I actually, got to talk to Abraham. I think basically what it was is we're chit chatting over text or messenger, and I said, hey bro, can I talk to you? And he gave me his number. We started talking, and we hit it off. And just like the way they'd hit it off together, the chemistry was there. His mentality was it. You saw him on the thing. His mentality. Oh, bro, he knows what he wants and he knows how to get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you gotta admire someone like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's no doubt in my mind. I mean, look he fought. I guess when I was saying he's my height, and doing that comparison, he fought Charles. Charles is huge. He's like 200 pounds.
I think he fought. That was like at 168.
Yeah,
and he was smaller, definitely
but
smaller, way smaller than Charles.
Yeah. So I'm saying like, man, this guy could be unstoppable.
I think a lot of people are looking at this fight and they're saying, oh, this is kind of like a force versus cunning type fight.
True. Yeah.
But if you go watch, and guys, go check out the interview with Eddie and Richard with Michael Corley that we posted last week, and you'll see that a different type of man I think Richard is he's quite cunning himself. You could see, like you said, he knows what he wants, he knows how to get it.
Yeah.
There's a directness to him and almost like a simplicity where it's like, don't get fooled and think this is just a brute that's going to come forward with one style. And he kind of said that.
Right.
But and you could see Eddie kind of like his eyes sharpened a little bit.
Yeah.
Both of their eyes sharpened during the interview when they were answering questions.
Yeah, it was a chess match.
Yes, it was very like there was like a okay. And I was telling Geoff after I watched it, these are two teams like when two football teams that respect each other. Yeah. There isn't like a hate, it's a respect, and those are the best games because they know while they're getting padded up, or in this case gloved up in the back, that they're going against an opponent that they have to respect not only body, but body, mind, and spirit. And so that's why you're going to have these great fights. A 5-round triumphant 160-pound title, nonetheless. Guys, take a look at the belt that these guys are fighting for. Anyone fighting for a triumphant belt, I want to steal it. I don't even want. I want to try to sneak this out in the backpack. Yeah. But three of these, are going to be awarded here on Triumphant 10. Guys, let's go around. Final thoughts here. We've covered the whole card. We've covered all the fight news here. Let's start with David. David, any final thoughts before we close out the show here on T10? We're about a month away now. So what are you thinking? How are you feeling?
Well, there was another promotion that had some fights on, and people were really talking about it not being a good representation of what the quality of Muay Thai is. But I guarantee you, in this show here, that you're going to see top quality Muay Thai fights, top level Muay Thai fights, and evenly matched too. No mismatches, evenly matched. And when you think about it, on a platform like this, 2.5 hours from LA, or on Fight.tv, one of the biggest fight organizations in the world, the ones that helped Roy Jones versus Tyson. It's so easy to find this. And if you truly support the sport, I mean, a lot of people say, oh, there's not enough fight for Muay Thai, not this and that. This is your opportunity to support the sport. Go out there, watch, follow. Triumphant has created fighters. They put them back on the show. They're fighting different opponents. You can follow these fighters kind of as a fan to get to know them like your NBA players, your NFL players. You can follow them. And we're here to stay. Triumphant's here to stay. So when you think about it, $15, $1.50 per professional fight, 4 titles on the line, this is a great show. I'm thankful to be a part of it. And even if I wasn't a part of it, I'll be watching the show. This is a great show.
Well, we're thankful to have you, David. Kevin, again, always thankful to have you ringside. How are you feeling about T10 coming up?
I'm looking forward to it, man. You guys always put on such great shows. Every show you've ever had has had quality, exciting matchups from the bottom to the top. So no matter what, you're always going to get your money's worth. It's always worth the price of admission, and I really enjoy. Like David said, I'd be watching this whether I'm there, whether I'm at home, or no matter what I'm doing. I'm going to check out the fight. So I encourage everyone to do the same because you guys are doing it right.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Yeah, heck yeah. Zae, how you feeling about T10? It's coming up quick around the corner.
Every fight we say that it was the best. So now we're on our 10th one. It's a good anniversary and a good marker for us on where we're at, putting our foot down in the game. And just was David was saying, there's a lot of other promotions out there, and you see it, and sometimes it doesn't represent the sport the way that you want it to be represented. But one thing I did want to mention is that when other promotions talk about Muay Thai and who's growing the sport, do not count us out. We are here, and we should be brought up when you talk about growing the sport and being a factor in Muay Thai. And a lot of the times people don't mention us, and that's all right, because that's just how it goes. When you're a threat or something that's growing, a lot of the times people don't want to recognize it. But it's getting to a point now that you don't have a choice. We're here and in your face.
What Zae's basically saying, in a nutshell, is you need to put some spec on our name.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeff, final thoughts coming up here. Less than a month now. About a month.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, just kind of riding off what Zae was saying. You know, trying to grow the sport. You know, I mean, it's getting its name out there. It's getting popularity. Look at Conor McGregor's starting to train it. Did you see that? Did you see that John Wayne Farr post?
Oh, I didn't. No.
He's starting to.
Oh, he's starting to check kicks. You mean?
Check kicks and practice in his backyard.
Who would have thought that's possible?
He did some kind of little meme or something in post saying, "Oh, so you're training Muay Thai now? Huh? You're a Muay Thai fighter now, or something like that." So, but like again, it's said all the time. You know, I hear Joe Rogan saying it all the time. You know, like, hey, you know, Muay Thai is where it's at. You know, he's talking about cable networks. Put it on. You know, put Muay Thai. You know, on prime time.
Yeah, nothing against. Yeah, you know, all other combat sports are great, but I just remember I took my dad to a kickboxing match. I won't say what promotion it was, right? and he just goes, he said, "Son, these fights are kind of boring compared to Triumphant fights."
All right, Dad. Come on, man. I got a VIP table for you, buddy.
Totally on his own. He said, "These are a little boring, you know? Like, no one's getting knocked out. No one's getting cut. No, not that there's anything wrong, but, like, all combat sports are great. But, yeah, it's a different breed. Yeah. You start throwing those elbows in there and the danger level. As Richard Abraham said, he said the danger is kicked up when you can throw that elbow in there in the clinch at any time.
Especially the 12-6 when we said it.
The heightened danger. And, the 12-6 is all good in Mexico.
You've seen it in everyone's video.
People were using
it.
People were using it.
I'll never forget the weigh-ins when I had to ask everyone to agree. And I was like, all right, so who's okay with 12-6? You've seen everyone's eyes light up. They're like, oh, I have a new weapon in the toolbox. It's like,
shit.
Yeah. Well, Any other last words, Geoff?
Yeah. So again, we can't do this without you guys actually watching. Just as everyone else said, definitely watch, order it on pay-per-view. If you can't be there in person, don't just order it. Tell your friends, tell your family, your teammates. I see the hashtag on a lot of you guys that are supporting us saying "support the sport," which is super awesome. And you guys are not only supporting us, but you're supporting combat sports in general, keeping it alive, keeping it going, keeping us up there. And again, we not only that, our sponsors. We have sponsors. Just because we have them help us, their goal is to get exposed with us and grow with us. So I wanted to basically recognize our sponsors out there for helping us take care of certain expenses, you know what I mean? And so by supporting us, please support them, and I'll let you run through the sponsors.
No, I mean, I don't have a lot, but I would want to say thanks to Suncoast Awnings.
Yep.
We're here in Northern California right now, and thank you for hosting us. We do appreciate it for all your shade needs.
Yeah, we are. This studio, first of all, guys, this is the Suncoast Awnings studio. It's top notch. So nice, right? Deb puts on a great production. Tom, the production value is so good, and it's. Look at that, I jinx it. No. But Suncoast Awnings, guys. God gave you trees for shade, but if you don't want to wait that long, Suncoast Awnings. Yeah. Okay. And guys, on behalf of the Triumphant team, I got CEO Geoff Quares, COO Zae Martinez, my co-commentators Kevin the Soul Assassin, Ross. You got David, Huey here, guys. Thanks for joining us on the T10 Countdown. Now, something a little bit different about us as a promotion. We all train. Me and Geoff have been in there before. I think Kevin has a couple fights. He might have a couple smokers. He has a little experience. David, you don't realize, is 130 13 years old. He trained Bruce Lee. He trained all the great legends back in the day. So, you don't realize how long he's been in the game because he's the Highlander Huey. But yeah, so much experience. But you know what? We're going to take this opportunity because this dope studio has a little training facility in here. Zae and Geoff are going to beat me up a little bit here. And
we're just kind of glad that Kev isn't.
Thank God, Kev or Daniel.
Put us in place.
I was like, is Dan going to be there? Because if he is, I might forget my gear. I don't know if I could take another whooping from Dan Compton here today.
Yeah.
But we're going to get a little training session in here, guys. We hope you guys are doing the same. We hope you're training safely, guys. And we can't wait to see you guys coming up March 13th for T10 Rosarito, Baja, California, Mexico. I'm your host, Brandon Kyle. Thanks for joining us for everything
guys.
Triumphant 10. We will see you at the show. Peace.
Hi, guys.
Straight, straight, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, 2, Oh, that was too hard, bro.
Liver?
Oh, the ribs. Oh. No, the ribs.
You threw first. You need first.
No, but I'm touched. You saw my control.
That was a touch. That was a touch.
Oh, bro, get that or I'm fucking rolling. Yeah, no. All right, he got that one. I'm gonna call it right now. That one got me.